So Samsung just made a move that might change the future of their entire Galaxy lineup, and no one saw it coming. What looked like a random release, the Galaxy S25 Edge, might actually be the beginning of the end for one of Samsung's oldest flagships. And the craziest part, it's all happening right under our noses while everyone's focused on the iPhone 17 Air. But here's the twist, Samsung's next steps are way more calculated than we thought, because now, for 2026, Samsung isn't just bringing the Edge back, they're using it to kill off another phone entirely. And if this plays out the way it's rumored, the Galaxy S26 Edge might be the one that takes over everything. Welcome back, viewers. If you love diving into the future of tech before it hits the mainstream, like this video, share it with your friends, and of course subscribe for more updates like this every week. So here's the thing. Right now, the S25 lineup is super clear-cut. You've got your standard model for people who like compact phones, the Plus for folks who want a bit more screen, and the Ultra for those who want a phone that does everything but cook dinner. And then boom, the Edge appears. Super slim, incredibly sleek, and clearly meant to turn heads more than outperform benchmarks. But that design wasn't just for show, it was a test to see if Samsung could quietly replace something without making a big fuss. And guess what? It's working. Sales numbers don't lie. The S25 Plus, lowest sales target of the whole series. Even Samsung knew it wasn't going to fly this year. Meanwhile, the Edge, it's got people talking, even if the first-gen version wasn't perfect. But here's where it gets juicy. Reports from South Korea now say Samsung will launch the S26 Edge right alongside the Ultra and standard model. But the Plus, completely out of the lineup, and that would be a major shift. It means the Edge is no longer just a pretty face, it's becoming the new middle flagship. And here's the kicker, this whole move, it's kind of a mirror image of what Apple is doing. Apple killed the Mini. Now they're killing the Plus. And instead, they're going all in on a thinner, sleeker model called the iPhone Air. Samsung sees what works and moves fast. And the Edge? Well, it's their version of that same strategy. But unlike the Plus, the Edge actually looks and feels different. It's slimmer, it's flashier, and even though its specs are closer to the base model, it has just enough upgrades to feel like a unique experience. Still, let's be real, it's not perfect. That 3900 mAh battery in the S25 Edge, yeah, that's a crime. For a phone built around looks and vibe, Samsung should have flexed a bit harder. Silicon carbon battery tech is right there, and they chose not to use it. That could have been a huge win, but maybe, just maybe, they're saving that for the sequel, the S26 Edge. And speaking of the sequel, the leaks are wild. The S26 Ultra is finally getting fast charging. Not 50, we're talking 60 to 65 watts. That could mean a full charge in under 45 minutes. Combine that with the next-gen Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 2 chip, and you're looking at a phone that's not just fast, it's also smarter and way more power efficient. And Samsung isn't stopping there. Reports say they're trying to make it even thinner and lighter than the S25 Ultra, all while keeping the battery at 5000 mAh. That's a win in anyone's book. Now, let's loop back to the Edge again, because the S26 Edge might be the most interesting phone in the lineup next year. Ice Universe says it's getting a bigger battery and might even be the first Samsung phone with silicon carbon battery tech. If that's true, then Samsung is testing its most experimental stuff on the Edge instead of the Ultra, which is a massive shift in how they've handled innovation before. And here's where it gets wild. Right now, Samsung is working on 4 different OLED panels for the S26 series. That suggests they could still launch a Plus model next year, but only if the S25 Edge underperforms. In fact, Samsung only plans to sell about 1.3 million S25 Edge units by July if it hits that number. The Plus is dead, forever gone from the roadmap, and if the S26 Edge gets the upgrades we're hearing about, bigger battery, new materials, and flagship tier charging, it might not just replace the Plus. It could outshine it in every way. Meanwhile, Samsung's 2025 isn't even over yet, but their foldables are already pushing new highs. The Galaxy Z Fold 7 is reportedly selling 9% better than its predecessor, the Flip 7. Also looking solid. The FE version is a bit quiet, but that's expected. It's clear Samsung is going all in on sleek form factors, whether that's foldables or ultra-thin flagships like the Edge. The trend is clear, thin is in. So yeah, if you thought the Edge was just a one-off fashion statement, think again. Samsung might be building its future around it. And if the S26 Edge delivers the battery, the design, and the charging we're hearing about, it might just become the most balanced Galaxy ever. Not too basic, not too ultra. Just right. But hey, that's just the beginning. Samsung's and our 2026 lineup is shaping up to be full of surprises. Foldables with global Snapdragon chips, new Exynos launches, and possibly the end of one of their longest-standing flagship formats. We're just getting started. Make sure to hit that like button, share this with a fellow tech nerd, and subscribe for more. We've got plenty more coming, including some wild updates on the Fold 8 and Flip 8.